Osteoarthritis has long been regarded as a degenerative and largely irreversible joint disease, marked by the gradual breakdown of cartilage, joint space narrowing, inflammation, and pain that worsens over time. Traditional treatments, ranging from NSAIDs to corticosteroid injections and eventual joint replacement, are largely palliative, focusing on pain relief rather than addressing the root cause of tissue degeneration. However, a growing body of research is now pointing to a new biological culprit that may be central to osteoarthritis progression: senescent cells. The emergence of senolytic therapies, which are designed to selectively clear these dysfunctional zombie cells, is opening up a new and potentially transformative avenue in the treatment of joint disease, not merely to halt the damage, but to possibly reverse it. Senescent cells accumulate in joints as we age and after injury, especially in chondrocyte, the cells responsible for maintaining cartilage, and in the synovial lining of the joint capsule. These cells no longer function properly and begin to secrete a mix of inflammatory molecules, matrix-degrading enzymes, and oxidative agents that collectively drive joint breakdown. This inflammatory microenvironment not only promotes cartilage erosion but also inhibits the regeneration of healthy tissue. Over time, this sets off a self-reinforcing loop. Damaged cartilage promotes inflammation, which further accelerates senescence, leading to more damage. In animal models, researchers have demonstrated that the presence of senescent cells is not just correlated with osteoarthritis, but causally linked to its progression. In one landmark study, mice with surgically induced osteoarthritis showed significant reductions in joint inflammation, cartilage damage, and pain behaviors after receiving a senolytic compound. The treatment effectively cleared senescent chondrocyte from the joint, allowing for a measurable improvement in joint structure and function. These findings were replicated across multiple studies, reinforcing the idea that senescent cells play an active and detrimental role in maintaining the disease state. What makes these results especially promising is that the intervention does not merely mask symptoms like pain but appears to reprogram the tissue environment itself. With senescent cells cleared, the inflammatory load drops and anabolic repair signals begin to reemerge. In some cases, early-stage cartilage regeneration was observed, suggesting that the joint tissue retains a surprising degree of plasticity, provided the biological blocks to healing, like senescent cells, are removed. This opens the door to therapies that don't just stabilize the joint but potentially reverse damage in earlier stages of osteoarthritis. Moreover, senolytic therapies may be particularly beneficial because of their targeted, intermittent nature. Unlike daily medications that often have systemic side effects, senolytics are designed to be administered in pulses, once every few weeks or months, because they address a cellular population that doesn't rapidly regrow. This approach may significantly reduce long-term toxicity risks. Some of the most studied senolytic agents, such as dasatinib and quercetin, have already moved into early-phase human trials, with preliminary safety data indicating that the concept is tolerable and potentially effective. A few of these studies are now specifically investigating joint-related outcomes in older adults and those with osteoarthritis. Still, it's important to emphasize that much of this work remains in the early stages, and human biology may not always replicate what's seen in animal models. Cartilage regeneration in humans is notoriously difficult due to the tissue's avascular nature and limited capacity for self-repair. But even if full regeneration remains elusive, the potential to slow or stop further degeneration represents a major step forward. For the millions of people living with osteoarthritis who are currently waiting until joint function becomes intolerable enough to justify surgery, a non-invasive treatment that modifies disease progression could dramatically improve both quality of life and long-term outcomes. Another advantage is the broader systemic benefits of senolytics. Since senescent cells contribute to inflammation across the body, clearing them may improve other age-related conditions as well, reducing cardiovascular risk, improving insulin sensitivity, and possibly even enhancing mobility and muscular health. This means senolytic therapy for osteoarthritis may come with meaningful side benefits rather than the typical side effects that accompany most pharmacological interventions. The convergence of aging biology, joint tissue research, and pharmaceutical innovation is finally offering something new for a disease that has historically been managed rather than treated. By targeting the senescent cells that accelerate joint decay, senolytic therapies could represent a first-in-class strategy for not just relieving osteoarthritis symptoms, but actually intervening in its root biological causes. While more human trials are needed, the early signals are hopeful. Osteoarthritis, long thought to be an inevitable part of aging, may no longer be so inevitable after all.